Hello, hello. Just getting everything up and running here to start streaming the Archon quest for the newest patch. So let's get to the game here. All right. So you can see I got Scoffia already. I already have her level 90. I have her basically fully built already. She's got a Staff of Homa for herself. 4-set golden rope. Although I should probably do a different team here.
Let's go get ourselves some
Avulon
answers.
instead. And then trade these positions. There we go. Hey, Ash. Well, it's time to get this Archon quest started. So I'm gonna go in here. Go to quests. So it's Paralogism. So I'm gonna turn on focus mode so things don't interrupt me with this. I do have chat removed from the screen just so it's not in the way from stuff in the Archon quest. And I should probably bring up game volume just a little bit. There we go. That should be better. Now, there's going to be some characters I heard that are not going to be voiced. Venti's going to be one of them because of what's going on with the English voice actors with Genshin. It's been a known issue for a while. But we'll do what we can.
Mondstadt, welcome to Mondstadt.
Return to special story mode. Okay, I guess they're doing this so we don't accidentally trigger it when we're not ready to do it yet. It's actually quite nice that they do that. Actually, wait a minute. Just make sure this is the right one here. Yeah, this is.
Wow! The city is all decked out! Oh, it's beautiful! Festival season means no commissions, which means no Mora. But Catherine's always looking out for us, so we should still drop by and say hello.
How's the audio sound? Is it... Can you hear the game well enough, or do I need to change that volume?
Greetings, traveler. Paimon.
Hey, Catherine! Still doing the whole no commissions during Windbloom thing?
In general, yes. The people of Mondstadt don't delegate their work to others this time of year. But...
But...
feel free to take a look around. I think you'll pick up on something unusual.
Take a look around, huh?
It's finally Windbloom. And here I am ruining everything.
You're a bit tired. No big deal. Give it some time. How about doing something fun tonight? We could take a stroll or go stargazing.
Stargazing? Like we'll find a spot. You know people start reserving places on Star Snatch Cliff the moment the sun goes down. Sorry, I'm just not in the mood. I should go.
Whoa! Something's off with Beatrice. She would never give up a chance to talk to Quinn. This is weird.
Oh, you're leaving? I can walk you home.
No, it's okay. Thank you. I just need some time to myself. Besides, there's still something I need to do. The truth is, Quinn, not long ago,
What is it? Is there something wrong?
Never mind. It's nothing. Actually, Quinn,
Oh, they're breaking
I
up.
think we should stop seeing each other for now.
Huh? Wait, are you saying we can't be friends anymore? I thought we were best friends.
Did you see that? Beatrice ran off without looking back. Oh, we go adventuring in other nations for a bit, and one of Mondstadt's best friendship stories is already over?
So how's the volume on the game and such?
So, is this what you meant by unusual, Catherine?
This is just one example. Beatrice has been feeling down for days. But that's not all.
Oh, it's the honorary knight in Paimon.
Is something wrong? You don't look so good.
Alright,
I
that's
know a knight should be stronger than this, but I haven't been feeling right lately. I just can't focus. I started sleepwalking out of nowhere. Sometimes I'd even wake up in the middle of the night standing in a random location outside.
You should see a doctor.
I did, but all the tests came back normal. The doctor said I'm fine. Yeah, I even consulted Miss Barbara at the church, but her conclusion was the same. In any case, she was kind enough to pray to Lord Barbados for me to get better.
And she still doesn't believe Venti
Is
is
it because
Barbados.
I saw something
you
I
know.
wasn't meant to see? Sorry, this is for me to figure out. It is Windbloom after all. Anyway, I have patrol to finish. Until next time, you two.
Huh. Is it something in the air, maybe?
It appears Miss Donna is also out of sorts.
Oh, where can I find a truly fascinating man?
Wait, but Donna is the one who has a huge crush on D-Luke, right?
That's what I thought too. But she seems to have changed her mind.
Hey, here comes Kaya.
Is that Captain Kaya? Huh. Now that I look
Cavalry
at him,
captain, yet
he's
we've never seen a
exactly
horse in
my
the game.
type. How come I never felt this way before?
And he's not voiced. I'm flattered, Miss Donna, although I do wonder whether that was intended for outside ears.
Oh, no. Of course not. I'm sorry, Captain. Just pretend I didn't say anything. And, have a happy Windbloom.
I intend to, my dear, but first a question, if you don't mind. Why the sudden change of heart? I was under the impression Master D-Luke was the object of your affections.
Good question, Kaya.
So, you knew about that?
Well, everyone in
Well-
Mondstadt knew about that.
Master D-Luke came into the city not too long ago, but when I saw him, it was like the butterflies just weren't there anymore. If I had to compare it to something, it would be like waking up and realizing you're married to a man you don't love. But then I saw you, and it wasn't that something was different about you. I can't really explain it. It was just a feeling.
I understand, and I'm flattered I was able to bring back the butterflies, but I do need to see some business, so I'll take my leave.
Oh, here he comes. Well, surprised to see us?
Not at all. You're the exact two people I've been trying to find, so Skeeta, Paimon, how have you been? All good? How about yourself and the rest of the Knights of Favonius? To answer that requires a private conversation. Catherine, do you mind?
Not at all. Have fun, you three.
So, you said you were looking for us.
Yes, Jean sent me to find you when she heard you were back in Mondstadt, but let's discuss the finer details back at headquarters. Yeah, some of them aren't voiced, so I'm gonna try to read out their lines just so people just don't have to reread everything. I think that might be the best course of action for me to take. Although I'm not much for voice acting myself, so I'm not gonna try to put try to emulate their voices. I know not everyone's up for reading everything.
Ah, Kaya. You found them.
Eula's voiced. Yep, and I managed to track them down.
Good. With what's about to happen, it's great to have you in town.
Whoa, headquarters are packed! What's going on?
Honorary Knight Paimon. Oh, it's an honor to meet you. I believe introductions are in order?
Allow me, you have note, Captain of the 2nd Company, Skirund, Captain of the 3rd Company, Eula, Captain of the 4th Company, and me, of course, Captain of the 9th Company.
Oh, you're all captains?
That's right. Master Jean is waiting for you inside. She'll explain everything.
Jean!
And Jean's not voiced. Skeeta, Paimon, thank you for coming. Is everything alright? There are tons of people outside. Yes, it'd be the captains. You know a few of them already, but I'm sure there are some new faces. There have been a number of incidents in Mondstadt. In order to wrap up the case, I've gathered all the captains of the Knights of Favonius together to hold a trial.
A trial? But this is Mondstadt, not Fontaine!
Yeah, Fontaine's no the nation of justice. I can understand the confusion. You've never participated in one of our trials before. In truth, we haven't had to conduct one in quite some time. The Knights of Favonius oversee most matters of law and order in Mondstadt. Of course, in interest of fairness, major cases are tried jointly with the Church. Under the guidance of Barbados, the Knights uphold chivalric justice in the spirit of our order, and the Church carries blessings and goodwill wherever the wind can reach. And today's case requires a joint trial by both parties.
Which means it's a serious one. So, do you need our help?
Hold on, there's a group of people we saw in the corridor just now. There is something missing. Where's Albedo?
Right! He's the captain of the investigation team! But we didn't see him out there!
A keen observation, Skeeta. That happens to be exactly why I called you here. In the upcoming trial against Captain Albedo, we will do our utmost to understand the facts of this case and deliver a fair and impartial verdict.
Albedo is the one on trial? What did he do?
Jean, it's time. Underscore Skita, Paimon, come with me. Please sit wherever you like. I only ask that you remain calm no matter what you hear. I need to hear over there. Don't worry, the trial will be fair. Now that everyone is gathered, let us begin. You can see Sucrose off to the side too. Any other familiar faces? There's the Luke on the left. Of course, Albedo in the center. I haven't seen this room before. With Grandmaster Varka away from Mondstadt for the time being, I, Jean Gunhilder, will oversee today's proceedings. Mr. Dahlia, Deacon of the Church of Avonius, will serve as assessor. As representatives of our respective organizations, we will ensure a just verdict in this case.
Oh, that's a new face. Deacon of the church. Does that mean he works with Barbara and Rosaria?
The defendant in today's case is captain of the investigation team, Albedo. Albedo, what did you do? Certain aspects in this case are classified, and it remains uncertain whether the alleged victims are citizens of Mondstadt. As such, the trial is not open to the public. The identities of the victims are still unknown. Strange. If guilt is established in this case, all facts will be made public after the final verdict is delivered. Now, the captain of logistics company, Miss Hertha, will present the charges. The court appoints Mr. Kaya to speak on Mr. Albedo's behalf. Are both parties ready to proceed? So I'm presuming that Hertha is going to be the DA, the district attorney, and then Kaya is going to be the defense attorney. Yes.
Ready to proceed.
Miss Artha, the floor is yours.
Prior to this trial, the Knights of Favonius, in conjunction with the church, launched an investigation into Mr. Albedo for suspected murder and unlawful disposal of human remains.
Murder?
That's a pretty serious charge. It's the real Albedo. He's got the star on his neck.
A witness stated that, 11 days ago, in the middle of the night, she saw the defendant southeast of the city gates, dragging a large object she later identified as a human body.
No. There's no way!
We now call that witness to the stand. Beatrice, please tell us what you saw.
Beatrice, so is this what she was trying to tell Quinn earlier?
Well, I was out late that night on business. And when I came back, I saw someone in the moonlight that looked like Mr. Albedo. He was dragging a huge bag of some kind. I thought it was strange, so I followed him. Then, there was a sudden flash of golden light. The bag opened, and inside there was a body. Mr. Albedo's vision allows him to manipulate the ground with ease. So he buried it, and then removed any traces on the ground. Before he left, it seemed like he looked in my direction. Maybe it was just my imagination, but I was terrified thinking he might kill me too. Luckily, he didn't see me.
I now turn to the defendant. Describe your whereabouts that night. And he's not voiced either. I was working in my office on the second floor of the Knights of Favonius headquarters. That's right, the next day the defendant submitted his latest environmental report on the Dragonspine region. Considering the length of the text, it must have taken a considerable amount of time to finish.
Can anyone attest to the fact that the defendant was working in his office that night?
No.
Then the length of the report is not a sufficient alibi.
This isn't looking good.
So that's what he sounds like. First line we ever hear out of him. If the crime did occur as you described, then what about the body? You mentioned the joint investigation. Well, was the body recovered?
Not yet.
In other words, you dug up the location Miss Beatrice described and found nothing. You don't find that suspicious?
I know what I saw. I'm telling the truth, Miss Hertha, I swear. Also, didn't you say that speaking out would help protect the people of Mondstadt? Otherwise, I'd never put myself out here like this.
You're doing the right thing. Besides, the investigation wasn't fruitless. A single men's shoe and a torn piece of fabric were found in the bushes near the crime scene. The same location the witness described. If no crime occurred, then is all this just a coincidence?
And yet no victim has been identified, correct?
It's true. No one has been reported missing. However, Miss Beatrice harbors no ill will toward the defendant. Her testimony clearly points to a crime, and she has no reason to lie.
Does the defendant wish to say anything in response? You may believe otherwise, Miss Hertha, but I did not kill a single person. As a knight and captain of the investigation team, I have a duty to protect Mondstadt and its people. You accuse me of murder, but there's no body or motive.
The defendant raises an important point. Motive. Yet, I must be frank, not all murders are premeditated. Spontaneous conflict can also have unforeseen consequences. Nevertheless, I don't intend to prosecute this case on circumstantial evidence alone, which brings me to the second charge against Mr. Albedo.
Second charge?
Please proceed.
7 days ago, at dawn, a witness saw the defendant dispose of the body of an adult male in the area between Dragonspine and Dawn Winery. I now call the second witness to the stand.
Wait, that's...
Paimon recognizes who it is. Diluc, please tell the court what you saw. And he's not voiced either, apparently. At around 3:40 in the morning, I saw Mr. Albedo dispose of a body beneath a cliff. It was dark, but he used the power of Geo to illuminate his surroundings. From what I could tell, it looked like the body of an adult male, tall and thin, but I couldn't make out the age. He buried the body underneath the cliff and smoothed out the ground to remove any traces.
We now have accounts from 2 separate witnesses that describe the same modus operandi. Would you call that a coincidence?
Although I do remember back when Dragonspine was first released, there was a quest that came out for Albedo from the event quest for Dragonspine, and then they also had like the story quest for him where they had a overgrown whopper flower that actually mimicked and took his form. That's why my comment earlier said, oh, he's got the star in his neck, he's got to be the real one. Because the fake one that mimicked him, or the sus albedo, didn't have that star on his neck. And that's how you can tell them apart when you're dealing with the fake one or the real one. So there's a possibility this could be another fake. I would only inquire as to what Mr. DeLuke was doing in that area so early in the morning. Not the most opportune time for a stroll. Is there such a thing? Dawn Winery is my home. Is it not unusual for me to take walks in the area? That's a good point. I just happened to be in the right place at the right time, that's all. Master DeLuke is a well-respected figure in Mondstadt. I see no reason for him to frame Mr. Albedo. Yet the question remains, where are the bodies?
Before you suggest a lack of evidence, Mr. Kaya, you should know. After the defendant left that morning, the witness found this where the body was buried.
And this is? What looks like the teeth and femur of a human. Now it does beg the question, if the burial was fresh, why is this all that remains of the body? But I suppose Mr. Albedo is the only one who can answer that. Careful now, Master DeLuke. I do believe I hear a presumption of guilt in there somewhere.
These remains suggest an accelerated rate of decomposition. Considering the defendant's profession, there's reason to suspect that alchemy is at play here.
Caustic solution can cause that.
Both witnesses saw golden light, a known byproduct of alchemy. That's how the defendant destroyed the bodies. The light also explains how the witnesses were able to get a clear view of the events in the dark.
So, that's your angle. Alchemy. I take they don't play by the rules of the court where the prosecutor actually has to the prosecution has to provide all their evidence that they're using in court to the defense in order to use it in trial. A local assessment, but we have a witness of our own. The afternoon before the alleged second murder, Mr. Albedo had a lengthy intellectual exchange with his student, Sucrose. The two were in the library until the next morning. Why did the discussion last so long? You have to ask that when it comes to Sucrose talking about alchemy? Really? Miss Sucrose was presenting the result of her research. She noticed some flaws in the data and insisted on reviewing her calculations until the next morning with Mr. Albedo present. That does sound like Sucrose. That's right, we were in the library together. And she's not voiced.
You're certain Mr. Albedo was present the whole time?
Yes, and I know Mr. Albedo would never kill someone. He can never be that cruel.
Nevertheless, the other witnesses have no reason to lie. Tell me, Miss Sucrose, that meeting in the library, were you awake the whole time? Sounds like a considerable duration to go without sleep.
Yeah, that's Sucrose. Oh,
I do hope you can be truthful with us. It concerns the safety of countless Mondstadt citizens. A crime like this cannot go unpunished.
She is not the greatest with social interaction, and she doesn't like being under pressure from people. So normally in a situation like this, she would probably run because she wouldn't want to have to deal with people. She's that kind of personality. So she's really struggling here to put herself on the spot here. I'll take it from here. During our meeting, Sucrose did fall asleep not long after midnight. It's alright, Sucrose. You don't have to lie for me. This is a sacred place of judgment. The truth is paramount. Mr. Albedo. I see then. I'm afraid your alibi cannot be substantiated. Do you understand? Yes, I know claiming innocence without proof isn't enough. So it's guilty until proven innocent, I guess. But the prosecution's argument has its own holes. There's been no mentions of a motive or what exact method could reduce a human body to those remains.
No conclusive evidence of guilt. But the witness accounts do match to an extent that can't be dismissed. This is a tricky one.
Allow me to submit another piece of evidence. The investigators intercepted one of Mr. Albedo's correspondences. I will now read the pertinent parts to the court.
A correspondence. Oh no, that envelope doesn't look like it belongs to Mr. Albedo. Sorry, that envelope does look like it belongs to Mr. Albedo.
I have never abandoned the subject of human research. In fact, delving deeper into Dragonspine has led me to realize that the concept of life could be further expanded and transformed into that of birth. The mystery of human birth is often linked to death. As such, death is the most suitable material for the creation of new life. To that end, we must engage in a process of putrefaction and refinement.
Putrefaction and refinement.
Is that in reference to an alchemical process?
The letter continues. Experimental trials have been carried out in the northwestern part of Dragonspine, in the area southeast of Mondstadt's main gate. The data is as expected. Just as you endeavored to do, I too shall take up the path of creation and break through current limitations to reach a new realm of living beings.
I trust investigators have confirmed this to be the defendant's handwriting, and that the letter makes more than passing mention of putrefaction and refinement.
Correct. Not to mention, the locations indicated in the letter match both crime scenes. What more can we trust than the defendant's own words?
No, it can't be true.
I can't believe it.
A guilty verdict cannot be delivered without sufficient evidence. In order to protect all parties involved, that is what our principles demand. My original assessment was that we lacked said evidence. But now, it seems the only remaining questions are the identities of the victims and the specific alchemical process used in this case.
Ha. Then we are in agreement. The evidence is conclusive. On the charges of murder and unlawful disposal of human raids, the court finds the defendant guilty. People in attendance appear shocked. No one can believe a kind and well-mannered person like Albedo could commit such a crime. Gene stipulates those unsatisfied with the verdict will have to submit an objection or appeal, but most appear hopeless in this moment. As you watch Albedo being taken out back to headquarters, you get a strange feeling that something hidden is about to come to light. It all comes back to the letter, a secret that you and Albedo know all too well, but the people of Mondstadt have yet to discover.
Why would Albedo do something like that? Oh, this has to be a nightmare.
So we're going to have a deja vu from the first act of the Fontaine Archon quest, where we jumped into the trial with Lenny to protect him from the charges. Or to defend him, rather. Albedo told me a secret once, that he is a synthetic human created through alchemy. Could that have something to do with this case? But what? Following Rhindaughter's footsteps, just because he's an alchemical creation, that would only make him more suspicious. Rhine-Daughter is actually one of the Hexen Circle witches. Well, this took a turn for the worse, and Rosaria is not voiced.
Rosaria! Oh, when did you get here?
It's like more people are not voiced than are voiced. I can do a lot of reading this quest. I've been here the whole time. I happen to have a message to pass along. For us? Yes, you're needed at the Star Snatch Cliff. He's waiting for you there.
Who is he?
You'll know when you get there. Go on now. Time's like the wind. It waits for no one. Well, let's see what it says for reviewing. So this talks about the Dragon Spine quest. Yeah, so this is about the fake albedo. Okay, yeah, so it's just talking about what I talked about earlier. Now I gotta go all the way over here. I put Yolanda in my party.
Yeah, right.
Oh, it's Venti. The alcoholic Archon of Mondstadt. And I know he's not voiced. Ah, Skeeta, Paimon, I could hear your arrival upon the wind. Were you looking for me?
Venti, did you send us that message?
No, I did.
Whoa, where did you come from? Wait, Venti, do you know this guy? His name is, Oh.
Dahlia.
What is his name again?
Didn't think I was that unmemorable. I'm Dahlia, Deacon of the Church of Favonius, and Herald of the Animo Archon Barbados. Not gonna forget next time, right?
So you called us here so we could meet with Venti? Ah, I see. Thanks for mentioning that amongst us. I guess I'm doing it too soon, but I'll still have to read them out.
That's right. I noticed you during the trial. The legendary honorary knight. You seem to have a lot of thoughts on your mind, so I thought we should have a chat. After all, I am the Herald of Barbados. If the people of Mondstadt are in danger, I should keep the Animo Archon in the loop.
Ah, so he does know Venti's true identity. That makes it pretty conclusive there. We suspect Jean does as well, but she keeps quiet about it.
Wait then, you know about...
About what? The fact that my tavern-hopping nomad of a friend is Barbados himself?
Don't worry, Dahlia and I are close. He knows everything. Besides, a god needs someone to communicate their will in formal sitting, and no one does that better than Dahlia. I haven't done the quest. My friends recommend me to doing it in Japanese, but EN sounds good for Mondstadt characters. Yeah. I know not everyone wants to read, and people don't... So if you're playing it in a different language, that's not the... or that that where you still have to read everything anyways, just so you can hear the noise in the background. That may not be suitable for everyone. That's why I'm trying to read everything out and do it in English.
Not that I saw that coming when we first met. But back to the matter at hand. I believe you two already know about Albedo's background.
If you mean his true identity, then yeah, we do.
So, you know too, Venti? That's surprisingly Archon-like of you.
Ah, well, I knew from the moment Daughter and Alice brought Albedo to Mondstadt. When those two are in town, no one can afford to slack off. Yeah. Two head-to-girl witches, Daughter and Alice, Alice being Klee's mother. If I can pronounce that properly here, the Creator presents a perfect specimen of synthetic life. At this stage of the case, there are countless questions surrounding Albedo's motive. His true identity is a potential weakness.
A synthetic being loses control of their sanity and goes on a killing spree. That's how a novel would frame the story, and people are inclined to agree.
Albedo has told us before that humans often value the ordinary over the transcendent and miraculous.
And the slightest difference is perceived as other. A very common phenomenon.
Which means we need to find a way to help your friend. What do you know about the situation, Venti? Me? Well, I know Albedo is a synthetic being, and a lot of strange things have been happening in Mondstadt, even though Windbloom should be about drinking and having fun. Yeah, you don't want to interrupt Venti's drinking time.
We noticed that too! The minute we got here, something was off.
I do think he killed the imposter Albedo from what we saw in 2.3 Shadows and Mist Snowstorms, if I remember the order remember correctly. Yeah, well, that's a possibility. We'll find out. I haven't seen any spoilers on what goes on in the future myself, so I'm kind of in the dark about what's going on. You share observations with Venti and Dahlia.
I've picked up on most of those too. Miles is out of sorts. Beatrice seems anxious. Although I didn't know Donna stopped being interested in Master Diluc.
When no love remains for the songs to tell, the world becomes naught but an empty shell. Cruel is said fate, cruel it may be, were it not for a hero who could set us all free.
What are you getting at, Tone Deaf Bard?
Oh, just making a comment. There are always unavoidable trials in life, at least that's what Barbados would say. A certain someone is going to need to overcome a trial like that. In such cases, even the Seven know better than to tamper with fate. Hey, Zerlys. Welcome to the stream. Sigh. If only there was a brave soul willing to aid their friend in his time of need. Should he meet a terrible fate, all of Mondstadt could be worse for it. Ah, so Charlotte isn't voiced in the event, but everyone else is. Okay, that's nice.
If you wanted our help, you could have just asked, you know.
Well, even if Albedo wasn't at the center of this case, protecting Mondstadt is part of an honorary knight, right? Or part of being an honorary knight, right? You'll still have to help, of course, which is why I prepared a little surprise. Behold.
Ooh! Paimon remembers that Jumpy Dumpty!
Ah, the communicator for Alice. Don't worry, I removed the fuse, so it's not going to explode. Say hello to the Dodoco communication device.
So, this thing belongs to you now?
I think we first saw this during the Golden Apple Archipelago summer event. We're old pals, don't you think we'd care if I borrowed a few... sorry. We're old pals. Don't think she'd care if I borrowed it for a few days. Anyways, this invention, With a little help of a trick of mine will allow us to keep in touch. Just take it out and we can chat. We'll do our best to uncover the truth. That's all I ask. No matter what comes, you'll have the wind on your side. Yeah, that's right. Because the 1.6 summer event was the first time we saw it. Return to the Knights of Avonius headquarters. I'm on the wrong character here. There we go. I'll be on a Scaffier. Oh, they want to talk to this. And to Jean's office. I know you all must be shocked, but the evidence is solid. Albedo's situation is not looking good. I think they jumped too quickly to trial. They need to do more investigation first.
I still don't believe Albedo would do something like that. Using living people as alchemical test subjects? It's like something out of a novel.
Perhaps it's best for me to remain impartial, but I've worked with Albedo before. He's an alchemist, not a sadist.
Eula's voice, at least. This version of events is hard for me to accept as anyone, but Varka once said Albedo is very different from the rest of us. Perhaps there are things we still need to learn about him. Technically, I didn't really purchase them. I'm actually in Canada, so I was not able to get my own code. I have a friend that's in the States who was able to pass me a code. So, thankful to them for it. And it's not the KFC ones, that was from the McDonald's thing. I didn't actually get the KFC ones before. Let's see what Albedo has to say for himself first. Would you mind giving me a moment, everyone? A private matter requires my attention.
Hey, Jean!
Then we come waltzing in. Skeeta, Paimon, perfect timing. Kai has a favor to ask. Like Jean said, after the verdict, we have to submit an appeal, and I will do my utmost to convince Albedo to accept. He's been acting strange, and I can't read him for the life of me, but I need you two to start investigating the case. Investigate the case? So you're in Asia where the Hoyle's events don't take place due to tensions with China. Not the best thing as a Hoyle fan, yeah. Yes, it's also time for me to... Sorry, it's also time for you to get involved. And then, what answer I want? Are you sure we're just adventurers after all? Well, as honorary members of the Knights of Avonius and Albedo's friends, Kaya and I have an official involvement in this case. We need a pair of fresh eyes. I know, it's against the spirit of the season to task you with this, but Albedo is a trusted member of our ranks. We owe him the benefit of the doubt. I'll look into the case on my own. I know you'll get to the bottom of this, Skeeta. You've never failed us in our time of need.
But what if the accusations turn out to be true?
Then you'll have done Mondstadt a great service all the same. I'm expecting a retrial. Until then, you're welcome to have a look around Albedo's office on the second floor. I'm counting on you. Alright, take care amongst us. Hey, we can actually go up here now. But we can't go up to the 3rd floor.
Wait, Captain Kaya! Surely I can't just...
These two are here on Jean's orders. She asked them to investigate Albedo's office.
Oh, in that case, head on in.
So this is Albedo's office. Pretty much exactly how Paimon pictured it.
All right, I have some work of my own. I'll leave you to it. Good luck, you two.
Right back at ya.
Ah, I see.
All right, let's see what we can find.
There's a stack of books on the desk, mostly relating to alchemy, environmental science, and life science. Some of the pages have been marked with alchemical symbols, and others have S-shape or triangular symbols drawn on them. Any potential meaning is unclear.
Wow, these books are so fancy! Albedo must have gone to great lengths to get them.
Oh, you just manually drag. Okay, I get it now. Investigate the lockbox on the desk. Lockbox sits on the desk. A latch bears the signs of wear, suggesting the importance of whatever lies within. The box will likely remain locked most of the time. But now the lid remains wide open, as if the owner was forced to leave in a hurry and didn't have time to lock it. Perhaps the letter intercepted by the investigators was once stored here. The remaining contents shouldn't hold much weight as conclusive evidence, but you still get a strange feeling after reviewing the item, or reviewing them. An elegant penmanship in the letters reads, "In addition, I do happen to have some information on the subject of our last discussion, the materials and arcane formulation required for a human transmutation." Sounds like Full Metal Alchemist, or Alchemist right now. The formations in these records likely originate from the Conria art of Khmer, but relevant documentation has not been well maintained over time, so I cannot guarantee that there are no errors or omissions. As thanks for our past assistance, I have enclosed the records with this letter. But that does not mean I support your pursuit of this research. Ethics aside, I'm not convinced it's even possible to create a human whose existence is identical to your or our own. The idea that dynamic of creator and creation could exist within the same species is cause for concern. Even a talent like yours, I must urge you to proceed with caution. The signature belongs to an unfamiliar name, one that also appears on the alchemy book nearby. You skim the preface and learn that the author is an old and accomplished alchemist. The person is likely a friend from Albedo's alchemic circle, someone who owed Albedo a favor, but also urged him to refrain from conducting dangerous research.
Human transmutation? Is Albedo seriously looking into that? Ooh, Paimon doesn't want to think about that.
It doesn't look good. This letter can't directly prove that Albedo did anything. Besides, a technique like that must be too dangerous to share with the public, right? That's why it wasn't brought up during the trial. Two more things to investigate. There's a test tube on the shelf with some black powder residue at the bottom. Next to it lies a neatly written note. Chalk is the next stage after soil. but the current available materials are still insufficient to construct a stable structure.
Nope. No idea what that means. Not sure if it's too hard for Paimon or too hard for anyone outside this line of work.
Everything's too hard for Paimon. Investigate the research notes. Albedo's notes lie on the table. They resemble the ones that you've seen before, but the contents are different this time. As always, the penmanship is impeccable, careful, and neat with a certain elegance in its uniformity, much like the man himself. One of the notes reads, petrification should be regarded as a counter-simulation to the process of life, like a highly efficient and destructive spell of rot. Upon use, the target will decay within an extremely short period of time, turning into dust that is nearly invisible to the naked eye before dissipating into the air. I think I got everything here, so we got that, and that, and I think that's all there is. Yeah, there is. There's just something I'm still missing here.
Alright, let's see what we can find.
Oh, investigate underneath the book. Okay, so there's this opened up something new. After removing the book, the desk looks almost empty. Your hand slipped while moving the book, causing the hardcover book to strike the desk. The resulting noise is a bit unusual. It's subtle, but to an experienced adventurer, it sounds too hollow, almost like there's a compartment within the desk. Investigate underneath the desk.
Wait, it looks like there's a hidden compartment under the desk.
There does appear to be a compartment added to one side of the desk. It was very well hidden. The lock mechanism is complex and it seems to involve elemental power in some way. Perhaps you can try using the power of Geo. The hidden compartment opens. Inside lies a piece of paper with more information. Investigate the paper. Festering is also a manifestation of rot. When festering forces and a sufficient amount of life energy collide, the two will repel each other, triggering a powerful side effect. When I tested this in alchemical experiments, the results of the refinement were startling. Breaking through the shackles of life, the simulation of the blank project, I must take advantage of this opportunity.
The name of the project is blotted out in ink. What could it be?
The note mentioned festering forces, which suggests that Dragonspine could be involved somehow. If this has something to do with the creating synthetic life, would Albedo go that far for one of his experiments? No, that can't be. Amid the notes is a map with a few strange markings on it. Two of the marked locations correspond with the crime scenes, and the third appears to be in Dragonspine. Alright. That's pretty far from the Dawn Winery, because Dawn Winery is the building at the top left here. So pretty far from where the X is, then up a pretty steep cliff. So it is kind of sus for Albedo to be out there for a late night stroll. Or not Albedo, but Diluc. It's a hard pill to swallow, but if the results of the joint investigation are correct, there could be a body hidden within that last location, or at the very least, what remains of one.
Huh. What does this mean? Oh, do you think something might also be buried at the last location? Alright, that seems to be it for this place. We should go tell Jean what we found.
Dodoko.
Oh, Vent is calling. Let's answer.
How's the investigation going? Find anything?
Oh, we found stuff all right. Stuff that only makes Albedo look even more suspicious.
I see. So Albedo's researching something that doesn't help his case, huh? You share what you've learned with Venti. Not promising. We should be grateful Albedo's true identity remains hidden. If it gets out that he's one of Rhindaughter's creations, there'd be no separating him from her past. As we both know, Rhindaughter's approach to alchemy and ethics was pure madness, and the evidence you just found, let's just say, would convince even those closest to him of his guilt, perhaps even you. And the notes sounded like him, and I don't think the handwriting was faked. Then it comes down to trust. Do you trust Albedo? Absolutely.
Yeah, he's our friend. We should keep the faith. And if he really is the culprit, he must have had a reason, right? Maybe he's just not allowed to talk about it. Yeah, that must be it.
Paimon and her 2 brain cells fighting for 3rd place. Either way, a fair investigation means coming to a conclusion presented by the facts. Does that mean even Venti no longer believes in him? I don't think that's the case. Remaining objective has its own value. Remember, none of this is your fault. Just report back with an honest assessment of the facts.
Yeah. Well, let's go find Jean and tell her what we learned.
Ah, someone's spying in on us.
Miles? What's he doing here?
Oh, sorry. I heard voices and wasn't sure if I should check who was inside.
It's okay. We're here on Jean's orders.
Ah, I see. I'll, leave you to it then.
Hold on. You didn't hear what we were saying, did you?
Oh, not really. Nothing that made sense anyway.
I smell something. I smell BS.
Well, do us a favor and just forget anything you might have heard, okay?
Paimon, you're just making things sound even more suspicious with that line.
Oh, sure. You got it.
That map we found in the hidden compartment seems important. We should check out the marked locations.
Yeah, you go pretty far for that. All the way to Dragonspine in the distance there. I want to go here.
I bet I could put ingredients in the snow instead of a freezer.
Is that where... Maybe up here would be a better waypoint. Yeah, I just glide down.
We
Pile of
should
rocks,
be
here's an
getting
arrow.
close. Oh, Look over there! Something...
Although everything is covered in snow, as the season adventure, you notice a spot in the ground that looks quite different from its surroundings. You remove the snow and find a sizable hole underneath, large enough to fit a human body. But the hole is completely empty and the surrounding markings make it look like something was dug up. Did an animal do this, or some monster?
Weird. There's a hole, but no body. The prosecution's argument is that Albedo used alchemy to destroy the bodies, but this location is different from the other two. Why not fill the hole, or smooth out the ground like the other places?
If one person did all this, why not remove the traces like the others? And if Albedo isn't the one responsible, why was this location marked in his notes? You return to the Knights of Favonius, doubt swirling in your mind. Back to Jean's office. You're back. Did you find anything?
Yeah, but none of it helps Albedo's case.
You tell Jean about your findings from Albedo's office. I see. A complicated result, but your efforts are appreciated. Did Albedo submit an appeal? Yes, he asked for a retrial. There are still some questions surrounding the identities of the victims and the disappearance of the bodies. The minimal remains that were uncovered have been sent to forensic analysts, which should provide some answers. It's just...
What's wrong?
The victims turns out to be Monsan citizens. The situation becomes all the more serious. The second trial might likely have to be open to the public. And I doubt public sentiment will be in Albedo's favor.
Yeah, not when the charges are so serious.
The second trial is set to take place in 2 days. I hope you consider attending this one as well.
Of course, we'll be there. In the meantime, we should all just stay positive.
Hey, Mike. And hey, Swordmaster. Well said. When the time comes, I'll carry out my duty to the best of my ability. Miles? Yeah, I'll do those after the Archon quest. Wait until 2 days later. Okay. Clearly they don't mean actual days. I'll just do this.
We should meet up with Jean. It's about time for the second trial.
In Jean's office again. You two, let me know if you're ready, and I'll head out. Ready. Alright, follow me. Gonna go to the courtroom now. Ladies and gentlemen, we now convene for the second trial against Mr. Albedo. I, Jean, will once again oversee the proceedings. Representatives on both sides remain unchanged, and Mr. Dahlia will continue to serve as assessor. I will, I just have the thing closed at the moment, or I don't have Discord open. Ms. Hertha represents the prosecution, and Mr. Kaya speaks on behalf of the defense. The defendant, in this case, Mr. Albedo, captured the investigation team. With that, I will bring this trial to order. Ms. Hertha, have the investigators made any new discoveries?
Yes. We sent the teeth and the femur bone found at the scene to the church's medical office, and were able to conclude that these are, in fact, human remains. In addition, the investigators were able to identify several Mondstadt citizens who appear to have been missing for quite some time. Forensic analysis of the remains allowed us to pinpoint the age and gender of the deceased. Interestingly, one of the missing individuals matches that profile to a T. The medical office couldn't spare the personnel, so Miss Rosaria is here to present the results to the court.
Gentleman, male, 46 years old, marital status, single, occupation, hunter. Consistent with the conclusion in the last trial, his disappearance went unreported, likely due to his lack of relatives. In addition, medical records show that he sustained a mechanism-related injury to his leg 3 years ago. The damage to the femur bone Mr. Luke found is consistent with such an injury. Therefore, we conclude that one of the victims in this case is Hanselman. A specialized technique was likely used to accelerate the rate of decomposition.
Is it reasonable to assume this technique to be alchemical in nature?
Is it reasonable to assume this technique to be alchemical in nature? Yeah. Alchemical or magical, both are possible.
Thank you for your testimony.
The identity of one of the victims is now confirmed. But what about the defendant's motive?
Considering what he wrote in the letter, we can deduce that the defendant needed subjects for an alchemy experiment. Who better than individuals whose disappearance would go unnoticed?
Yeah, we've only been seeing court battles since Fontaine.
In other words, he sacrificed the good people of Mondstadt for his own gain. A truly vile act. In addition, another witness has agreed to testify. Miss Donna, if you would.
Another one, huh?
Wait, Donna from the flower shop?
I'm sorry it took so long for me to come forward. But the night Master Diluc saw Mr. Albedo, I was there too. I was camping with a friend and we decided to stop near Dragonspine. I couldn't really get comfortable that night, so around dawn, I decided to go for a walk. And that's when I saw Master Diluc. I thought it might be nice to, chat. So I headed in his direction, and then I saw it. Someone at the bottom of the cliff was getting rid of a body. I was terrified the person might see me. Even after I fled, I couldn't shake that fear, and I started to wish I never had a crush on Master Diluc in the first place.
That explains her change of heart.
If I hadn't wanted to talk to him, I would never have been in that situation. Well, I didn't want to come forward because I was scared. But Miss Hertha convinced me it was the right thing to do. I'm sorry it took me so long.
I see. Just stepping forward was brave enough, Miss Donna. I think she got her butterflies back. The court thanks you for your courage and commitment to justice.
Yes. Thank you.
The two witnesses corroborate the same sequence of events. That just leaves the question of how the defendant disposed of the bodies.
I believe the answer lies in the alchemical technique mentioned in the letter. The defendant is the most accomplished alchemist in Mondstadt. He has the skill, no question.
A special investigator also uncovered some relative evidence on that subject. I will now present it to the court.
Wait, does she mean...
Yeah, Mr. Overhearing us in the office. The following are pieces of evidence uncovered in Mr. Albedo's office, the most important of which is this map. This map was found in the defendant's notes. The markings correspond with the description of the letter and locations of the crime scenes. Does this map belong to you? Yes. Were you the one who marked those locations? Yes. You do realize that's basically an admission of guilt, don't you? The evidence against you is nearly insurmountable. No. Since you uncovered that compartment, I might as well expand on the matter.
We have witnesses and physical evidence. What could you possibly say in your defense?
What I've always have, I never killed a single person.
Ugh, you have some nerve. Saying that when the evidence is stacked against you?
Miss Hertha, you've presented a meticulous and convincing case. I'll give you that, but I will not admit to something I didn't do.
So, what? You're just going to bombard the court with excuses?
That's a rather dismissive way to refer to an innocent man speaking in his own defense. Besides, I'm not making excuses, I'm exercising patience.
That won't make the charges against you disappear, Mr. Albedo.
Perhaps not, but patience comes with its own reward. It's easy for things to remain buried in snow until someone comes along and brushes it away. Albedo seems serious, but unfazed. Does that mean he really didn't do anything untoward? He mentioned brushing off the snow. Is that supposed to be a hint? If it was a hint, then it must be something to do with Dragonspine, which reminds me, one of the locations marked on the map we found was in Dragonspine, wasn't it? Skeeta, you're the one who uncovered the notes, right? Then I'm assuming you visited the third location marked on the map as well. Yes. Can you tell us what you found? You nod your head and give an honest account of the scene you found in Dragonspine. Whoever was kept in the hole was gone. The surrounding area bore the markings of an unknown creature, with everything covered in snow. No one knew there was something to discover in the first place. So I wonder if it could be that Whopper Flower that mimicked Albedo from the early 1.x event.
Then, there must also have been a body.
I need to think about this. What clues am I missing? The first marked location is near Mondstadt. Beatrice saw Albedo use alchemy to dig a hole and bury a body there. A single man's shoe and a torn piece of fabric were found in the bushes nearby. Taken together, this evidence seems to suggest that Albedo killed someone and concealed the body. The second marked location is between Dragonspine and Dawn Winery, where Diluc saw Albedo bury a body of an adult male. Diluc described nearly the same events as Beatrice. There's no reason for them to collude against Albedo, so their testimony should be trustworthy. Diluc found teeth and a femur bone at the scene, and Donna confirmed this version of events because she was also there at that night. The two should have no reason to set Albedo up. Despite her crush, Donna wouldn't lie about something that was like that to get Diluc's attention. Not to mention, Donna has been acting strange since before the trial. The third marked location in Dragonspine. We only knew about it because we found it on the map in the hidden compartment. During our investigation, Paimon and I discovered the hole beneath the snow, big enough to hide a human body. There's also claw marks around the outside. There is no body or any remains whatsoever. The human remains. According to the forensic results, the teeth and the femur bone belong to a Mondstadt citizen, and the witness account suggests that Albedo was the last person to come in contact with his body. Did Albedo really use alchemy to reduce the body to a few bones? And does that mean he's the killer? Oh. The difference between the marked locations. Albedo marked these three locations on the map found in the hidden compartments. There are some similarities and differences between them. Based on what we know, all three locations were likely used to hide bodies. The hole dug in each area certainly seems big enough. But unlike the first two locations, there are claw marks around the hole in the third location, and no witnesses saw anything happen there. Dragonspine is home to all manner of monsters and wild animals. Could some kind of creature have dug up the body? But why wasn't that in the case in the other locations? The marks didn't look fresh, which means the hole in the third location was being there longer than the other two. But if the hole at the third location wasn't made around the same time, does that mean it's connected to a separate incident? Most people know Albedo as an alchemist and the captain of the investigation team. But in truth, he is Crimson, a synthetic human created by one of the five sinners, Gold Rhymedaughter. Albedo is steadfast, intelligent, and treats everyone with kindness and respect. I think most people would agree with that assessment. He's also a calculated thinker. It's fair to say that if he did commit a crime, it would likely be well concealed. Up until now, Albedo's never displayed any ill will towards humanity, and he also seems like his normal self. We're actually going through the evidence what we found, talking about how one of the Mondstadt people was actually one of the victims, and how it matched up with the remains found at the second location. And we're now going over all the evidence here. That's what you missed. As his friend, I shouldn't reveal the truth about his identity. That would only make things worse for him. Dragonspine's ecosystem. Dragonspine has a frigid climate and is covered in snow all year round. Even so, it's home to various monsters and creatures that can withstand the cold. Deep within the mountain lies the remains of even more mysterious creatures, Durin. Yes, the dragon from created by one of the... I think Rhindaughter created that too. Although the dragon has been dead for a long time, he still possesses a peculiar life energy. Now that I think about it, a lot of strange things that happen in Dragonspine. Encounters on Dragonspine. I almost forgot. Paimon and I once encountered someone on Dragonspine who looked exactly like Albedo, and we weren't the only ones. That's right. That was from when Dragonspine was first introduced to the game. Wait a second. Someone who looks exactly like him. So you're now just figuring it out. I'm guessing Albedo has a plan, so I should help him out. But what does he want me to do? Announce a break in the case? No, I should play it safe. Since I made an honest assessment of the facts, I should be honest about my doubts too. It's only fair. Besides, I think I understand what Albedo is trying to tell me just now. I'd like to address the court, if I may. I was the one who investigated the office, and I believe the results raise a few questions. Regarding the two cases addressed in the previous trial, it was established that, after disposing of the bodies, the defendant used alchemy to restore the ground to its original state. But that wasn't the case at the third location. The hole was still there, and dirt scattered around the perimeter. It looks more like someone or something had been dug up. If this is all done by one person, why wasn't the third scene given the same treatment as the others? Why weren't the traces removed? In addition to the markings around the third location weren't fresh, which suggests the Dragonspine incident happened at a different time. For those reasons, I believe there's still reasonable doubt in this case, and I hope the verdict reflects that. Thank you. Astute as ever, Skeeta.
Questions there may be, but allow me to point out, there is no evidence to suggest that anyone besides the defendant knew about the third location, and the map was found in his notes. That fact alone makes him the most plausible suspect, unless Mr. Albedo suddenly plans to deny that the map belongs to him.
Allow me to respond to Skeeta's point. If all I cared about was proving my innocence, I would indeed do as you described, Miss Hertha, and deny any connection to the map. But that is not what I intend to do. The map does belong to me, and I did hide things at those three locations.
What?
There were indeed bodies at each location, and I did kill and bury someone on Dragonspine.
Ha! So you admit it. Let the record reflect that the defendant has confessed to his crimes.
You're mistaken, Miss Hertha. The story doesn't end there. Some time ago, I encountered an uninvited guest on Dragonspine, someone who wanted to take advantage of the deserted nature of the region to eliminate me in secret. His desire to kill me led to an altercation where I killed him instead and buried the body on the mountain, the third location marked on the map.
Actually, the traveler Amber Bennett and I were with Albedo that day. The Adventurers Guild was holding an event on Dragonspine. After it ended, we all left the area. If the person Albedo is referring to is different from the one we encountered on the mountain, then the altercation must have occurred after we left.
This only proves that the defendant is guilty on all counts. Those innocent people, their blood is on your hands.
No, you're wrong.
You deny it? After admitting to murder for the whole court to hear? You've clearly lost your mind.
If you would let me finish, Miss Hertha, I could get to the important part. The man who attacked me in Dragonspine was my height, with blonde hair, blue eyes, and dressed in clothes nearly identical to mine. So, someone who happens to look exactly like you? Exactly like him. So I was right. It does come back to what happened back then.
It's one thing to look similar, but for the clothes to be the same?
What's going on? I don't want to be here anymore.
Regardless, the important thing is that you admit to killing someone on Dragonspine.
Yes, I killed someone that day. Someone who looked nearly identical to me. But I never said that someone was a person. I see, then it appears I need to withdraw my testimony.
What?
Everyone! I brought her!
Wait, you...
The person who just came in, isn't that Hertha?
Huh? What's going on?
Who are you? Why do you wear my face? Hello to you, too.
As you can see, this is Hertha, the logistics captain of the Knights of Avonius.
I see what's going on here. It's all been leading up to this, hasn't it? Your confession. It was all an elaborate stunt to set me up. You want to undermine my credibility? Fine. It doesn't eliminate the mountain of evidence stacked against you. All I want is justice for the people of Mondstadt.
One of them is a fake. Order in the court. I've been stationed on Dragonspine all these years because that is where the subject of my research lies, the dragon, Durin. Several hundred years ago, the Dragon of the East, Dvalin, defeated Durin in battle and, with help from Barbados, sealed his remains in Dragonspine. Durin was created through alchemy, one of the finest specimens of artificial life. As such, death was not the true end for him. His heart still beats and grows more revitalized by the day. My imposter on Dragonspine was a failed specimen abandoned in Durin's stomach, an unsuccessful iteration of the Homunculus project.
Homunculus?
Are you trying to insinuate that I'm some kind of... homunculus? Because it looks to me like the artificial one is standing right there. Some kind of imposter you dragged in from Dragonspine. So this is what I look like when I fly off the handle. You know, they say imitation is the best form of flattery, but your impersonation has overstayed its welcome. Master Jean, what are you waiting for? We've known each other for so long. You recognize the real me, don't you?
The two of you look identical, but judging based on demeanor, the new arrivals actually seems more like the Hertha I know.
That means nothing. By that logic, I could just as easily accuse the albedo in this room of being an imposter.
Deflection?
How do we know he isn't the fake one? A cold-blooded killer who replaced the real albedo long ago.
We established that. He's got the mark on his neck, and the fake one back then did not. He got rid of the mark because he took it as an imperfection and he was trying to be perfect.
Then, how about something only the real Hertha would know? The longest scar on my body. The knights who fought alongside me that day should remember where it is.
So she has an imperfection of her own.
I remember. Let's hear your answer.
I'd like to hear Miles' answer first.
Huh?
You don't know? Or you don't remember? I heard you've been acting strange these days. Disoriented? Confused?
So Miles is another, fake.
You were closer to me than anyone during that battle. And yet you don't remember a thing. Strange indeed.
No, my head. It hurts.
The scar is right here.
On her arm. Why the nerves? I can't imagine this comes as a surprise. Unless your informant in the Knights of Vonius failed to mention the scar on Hertha's left arm.
Albedo has done a lot of research into beings like you. If you deny it, then show us your arm.
I think the cat's out of the bag. No need to panic. You can just add it now. You excel at changing your appearance, don't you? Or should I say all spawn of Durin's life force have that ability? A powerful life force, an appearance you can change at will, yet here you stand, formless one, paralyzed to act, because you're worried using that power could affect your accomplice. Accomplices? Then Miles must be one of them. There are others too. Most of the beings under the influence of Durin's life force have gathered here, and yet their presence is what impedes her from taking action. Once you attempt to transform, all who surround you will be affected by your power, and you can't control it. Because in this network of living beings, you serve as the core.
Show us your arm. Ugh! Have it your way!
Whoa!
Come on, let's go!
Ah, looks like we're gonna have a fight.
The imposter!
They forgot that we're here. She's trying to get away. Stop her. Don't let anyone stand in your way.
There are others trying to get in. Must be more people under her control.
Time to get moving, everyone.
Whoa! She just leaped across the room!
After her!
It's time. All units move out. Third company. Keep the imposter's tail, or keep on the imposter's tail. We finally have a chance to talk. But before I explain the events that past few days, I'd like to make a few things clear. First, I never killed any of my fellow citizens, and I never used human remains as part of alchemical experiments. Second, the events of the past few days were all part of the plan. Most of the members of our order were in on it. As for the witness, Master Luke picked up on the situation long before today's proceedings. So Jaluk was already in on this. Okay. It's quite an involved plan. Indeed, follow me.
What? How are there monsters in the city?
I guess the fun's about to start. They're all monsters from Dragonspine. An attack is imminent, but fear not. We've been preparing for this. Had they forgot that Mondstadt has a Klee? We've been monitoring the resurgence of Durin's life force. Its festering nature agitated those monsters. We knew it was only a matter of time before they advanced on Mondstadt. And so we made preparations for an inevitable battle. I was hoping you two would join me, provide assistance to the battle to come.
Of course. Where's our first stop?
Atop the city wall. Well, let's open up the map. Let's see, that's 114, 165, 183, 186. And okay, Venti's over here. Shoot, someone's coming. Help me, please! Someone help me!
What's with the freakout? It's just us.
Ah, perfect. I can drop the act. Sorry, thought you were regular citizens. It's about time. I think we can proceed as planned. I agree. Although it's been a while since I dealt with something this big, it's going to be pretty exhausting. Don't worry, I'll treat you to a drink for your trouble. Yes, the one thing Venti likes is payment. Alcohol. Just what I wanted to hear.
So, these two know the other's identity then?
People can make new friends when we're not here, you know. Monsters started surging in from Dragonspine during the trial. They soon became agitated, like a response to the core coming under pressure. Still, I never expected those monsters to have become this advanced. The power of evolution cannot be underestimated, especially considering the fact that Durin absorbed the previous imposter.
Wait, so what about the map? And the missing bodies?
What the witness saw was true. I did hide those bodies as I monitored the situation on Dragonspine. I noticed that many who ventured there came back different. Some were under the influence of Durin's power, but less fortunate ones had already been devoured by monsters, who then assumed their appearance to infiltrate the city. Most of those who were replaced had no close relatives, so their behavior changed. There was no one to notice. The monsters used their disguises to get close to people. I eliminated 2 who attempted to attack.
What about the remains Diluc found? Did they belong to one of the victims?
Yes, the monsters slowly digested their victims. Sometimes they even left behind body parts to aid their transformation. All that remained of the first victim was a few strands of hair. The second, some teeth and bone. The only bodies Albedo destroyed were the monster's mimic forms, and then he buried whatever remained of the victims to put them to rest. Well, someone had to do it. Besides, I managed to gather some valuable data on the purification of the bodies. After we defeated that doppelganger Whopperflower on Dragonspine, we promised to tell each other a story, remember? You told me the story of Grander, I remember. I'm glad. Then you remember what I told you about the Subject 2? In his pursuit to replace Subject 1, he transformed a Whopperflower into Subject 3. So there was another imposter in Dragonspine that day. Yes, that would be Subject 2. I confronted him and buried his body in Dragonspine. So you see, at one point, there was something hidden in that hole you found. But Durin is becoming more revitalized by the day. Under the influence of his power, the monsters dug up Subject 2's body and returned it to Durin's stomach. Durin absorbed the failed creation along with his knowledge and way of thinking. Ever since then, all creatures spawned from his power had the ability to transform their appearance. Humans who venture into Dragonspine for too long are all bound to fall under Durin's influence. But those effects don't show themselves right away, and the extent to which a person has been affected is hard to perceive. You saw it for yourself, didn't you? All those people acting strange? Those are the same people who just tried to break into the Knights of Favonius headquarters. Durin's power remained dormant with them until finally it surged to the surface and seized control. That was also our goal. If we could force a situation where the imposter had no choice but to unleash the power, all those under the influence would become violent, and thus we would know who was affected.
Wait, so what do we do? We can't go around hurting innocent people.
That's why I'm here. It would make me look bad if I just lazed around after promising to help. We will use the power of Animo to restrain them for now. That should give the knights the chance to subdue them without harm. A specialized team will deal with them later. Alright, that's the long and short of the situation. It's time to activate that thing, right? Yes, so there are little secrets other people shouldn't know. My identity, for example. Keep it to yourself, okay? Alright, this should do it. Is he calling, Dvalin?
Wind currents?
No, he's...
Paimon's never seen this many.
There should now be wind currents across the whole city. Everyone, can you hear me? Loud and clear, all units. What's your status?
All good. We have enough manpower to provide support. Requesting assistance at the side gate. Heading over now.
Whoa! It's long-distance wind communication! How is that even possible?
It's all thanks to Lord Barbados. With this blessing, we'll all succeed in defending our city. Way to spill the beans, Jean. Actually, if you face away from the current and whisper like this, no one can hear you.
No wonder you're crouching down there like you have something to hide.
Okay, Paimon, you just blurted that out without doing the same thing. Genius. You didn't have to broadcast that.
Huh? That voice? Venti? Is that you?
Oops.
Yeah, Paimon's a special case. Oh, you know, just wondering, Bard calling for help. Thank goodness Skeeta and Paimon Beto found me. Got me out of a tough spot, huh? Alright, now that you're okay, we should check on this house of the other areas. Thanks, friend. May the animal Archon protect you. It's a very self-serving sentence from him. I've always wondered what that door was for. I got things covered over here. What's Sucrose doing? Sigh, I don't like being in the middle of this, especially on a bridge. Oh, come on, Kaya, you're doing ice bridgings all the time. Oh, look who it is. Get back! Oh yes, Luke is known for fighting on the bridge here. Phew, that was a close one. I suppose thanks for is in order, Master DeLuke. I appreciate the help. And I'm gonna bet that's in a sarcastic, snarky tone, if he was voiced. No need. I didn't interfere to save you. It was for my own convenience. You're my way. Yes, those two kind of have a rivalry with each other. Oh, well, let me get out of your hair then. I suppose we could work together, but you would just melt my ice anyway. Suit yourself. Alright, tell me, when did you notice something was off? The first trial. Ah, because the fake Hertha. No, because of you. Me? What did I do? My defense wasn't passionate enough? No, you weren't nervous enough. Tell me then, Master DeLuke. When do you think I actually get nervous? I suppose we'll see, won't we? Monsters are incoming. On second thought, best not to think about it. And we got trial versions of these. So I'll just copy.
Dodge this! This moment will be thrown.
Retribution!
Gotta fight these things here.
Freeze!
And I do not like using these characters. Want to do that? I'll burst then.
Don't get frostbite. Dodge this.
Time for retribution!
This version of Archon. Okay. It's one that puts down the mines.
They're over there! Dilu, Kaya!
If you had time to make it out here, I'm guessing the other areas are secure?
What? We can't be here because we care?
Maybe this is just the closest spot to the city gate. Maintaining control over the main road means maintaining control over the battle as a whole. You made the right choice.
So what's the status over here?
All under control, don't worry. My trusty civilian volunteer and I have this area covered. I think you mean the man who held the title of cavalry captain before you. We don't have to bring that up. Yes, Zuluk had quit the Knights of Vonius a while ago. Well, keep up the good work. We'll go check the status of each other's locations. Good luck. Oh, and I wanted to thank you for what you said in court. If I'm not mistaken, you were on my side by the end. Believe me, he's had his suspicions since the first trial. I suppose it didn't just feel right to believe that someone who helped me in the past could be a cold-blooded killer.
Aw, that's so sweet.
Thank you for trusting me and choosing to fight alongside us. As for you, Kaya, good work as always. We'll see you soon. Of course, stay safe. Oh, official. Barbara Rosaria? Get close to injure? Yeah, I know how to use Barbara. Although it doesn't really work like this in co-op. Alright, you should be on the mend.
Thank you so much, Miss Barbara.
And Barbara's not voiced.
Things are still quite chaotic outside. It's best if you all remain inside the cathedral for now.
You're not rushing back out to the front line, are you? You're still injured.
Don't worry, Miss Barbara. I'll try not to put myself in harm's way. I can help with logistics from the back.
Well, maybe we can give you a hand. As you said, the situation outside is chaotic. Injured parties should not be left unattended. There are others who'll need to get back to the front line, so I'll escort you all myself.
Of course. Thank you, Miss Rosaria.
Just doing my job. I'll leave the cathedral to you then, Barbara. You can count on me. I don't really know how all this started, but I do know that Jean and the others will be preparing for this for a really long time, so I think everything will be alright. No, it has to be. Did I catch you all at a bad time, Barbara? Not at all. Did you need something? I just want to tell you that over the next few days, a lot of things are going to happen in Mondstadt. Attacks and fighting, so I need you to take care of yourself. Huh? How do you know? Albedo warned us in advance. It has something to do with Dragonspine, and he's our authority in that region, so we should take him at his word. Dragonspine, huh? So the city's going to be in danger. Yes, but the Knights of Vonius will do whatever we can to protect the people. But then, who will protect you? Don't worry. I'll look out for myself, I promise. Please let them be okay out there. Sister Barbara, could you lend me a hand? So Grace isn't voiced either. Ah, of course, coming. There's Mona. Noelle. Bennett. Amber and Mika. Mika's kind of hiding behind there. Amber's not voiced. They're here! Prepare for battle! On guard, everyone! Incoming monsters at 11 o'clock. Looks like we've got 25 Hilichurls, 2 Blazing Axe Minichurls, and a bunch of different slimes. Prepare for elemental countermeasures. Roger that. Yeah. I should do is see if I can throw Baron Bunny. I can't throw that far.
Go, go, Baron Bunny!
Actually, I can't go this way. I can't shoot through this. Can't do this.
Get him!
Right.
I'll race you there! Yeah! No one escapes
Rain of
my
fire
sight.
time.
Go, go, Baron Bunny!
All units are now in position.
Hertha! Ah, jeez, your voice scared me just now.
What? Still caught up in the imposter incident? I thought you knew about the plan.
Well, after you up and disappeared one day, all Master Jean told me was that you'd be gone for a while on an important mission, and that it'd be better if people thought you were dead. And then, what do you know? Someone who looks exactly like you appears out of nowhere 2 days later. If Master Jean hadn't told me about your mission, I would have fallen for it hook, line, and sinker.
And he's not voiced. Yeah, it's quite a scary thought. I get chills thinking about it. A monster replacing someone close to you, and you're none the wiser. Don't worry. Once this is over, the monsters won't be a threat to us again. Albedo, are you okay? The trial wasn't too hard on you, was it? I'm sorry, I couldn't be there. I was so worried. Same here. I thought it was all real at one point. It was a complete shock. That explains why they didn't gather all the evidence ahead of time. They already knew what was going on. It was all for show. So, you didn't know, Amber? Then it seemed Eula did an excellent job at keeping the situation under wraps, and no need to worry, you two. I'm no worse for wear. That sounds like Eula, alright. She's like an impenetrable wall, that one. You're not getting a secret out of her.
Yeah, for sure. She's someone you can really count on.
Wait, so how did you decide Hertha should disappear again? After all this fighting, I can't seem to get it straight.
It was Kaya's suggestion. He said the plan would work best if someone well-known and reputable without being too high-profile. Naturally, Miss Hertha was the perfect choice. We needed to leave a hole in our organization, so she came up with the idea that she would disappear. So that explains the rumor that someone had fallen during a mission. Of course, it didn't take long for that to get resolved. No, because the imposter fell right in our trap, and it was all part of the plan. First, we spread the rumor that Hertha was missing in action after some kind of incident. The news came from Kaya and Hertha's direct subordinates, which was important because we needed to be credible. The imposter saw the gap in our ranks and couldn't help but take the bait. It didn't take long for the fake Hertha to appear on the night's patrol route, claiming to have survived her mission.
When did that happen?
Over 6 months ago.
Oh, that's been going on for a while.
Whoa, so this has been a long time in the making.
As shortly after we went to Natland for the first time. Yes, and our enemy was more meticulous than we expected. Monsters have been searching for Hertha's body in order to protect the imposter's identity, which is a more advanced way of thinking than Subject 2. So, we had to wait long enough to convince the fake Hertha that she had our trust. Furthermore, we needed to give her time to gather evidence against me and convince herself she had enough to strike.
But how did the Knight's internal information even reach Durin and his monsters?
There's an informant among our ranks.
Don't worry, Barbados already tracked her down. She doesn't have his blessing, so she can't hear what we're talking about right now.
Honestly, this whole situation almost gave Paimon a heart attack. All those awful accusations in the first trial, and you couldn't even defend yourself!
That was deliberate, Paimon. It was to be expected. I couldn't just reveal the truth. It had to be the right moment, or it would have given the imposter even more fuel to use against me. She would have demanded to know how I knew about Dragonspine and the monsters in disguise, and if my true identity got out, the public trust in me would be gone. It was a trap, you see. Argue back and expose my origins, or keep my mouth shut and be seen as a murderer. Credit where credit is due, it was well thought out.
Yeah, thank goodness we were able to back her into a corner.
Indeed, and I have you to thank for that, Skeeta. You probably don't know it, but you've been a part of this plan since the beginning. Me? But I didn't even know there was a plan. And for that, you have my sincere apologies. I know I kept you in the dark, but I had a reason. This might not sound intuitive, but I did it to make the plan even stronger. From the beginning, I knew I had to leave the letters in my office for a fair and independent reader to discover, someone willing to seek the truth. Naturally, I thought of you. I knew you would return for a Windbloom, and I knew you would agree to attend the trial. And I knew your sense of responsibility and justice as an honorary knight would compel you to start your own investigation. A fake Hertha, Subject 2, has met you on Dragonspine before, and if she thought even you had lost faith in me, her confidence might get the best of her. The perfect time for us to strike. Albedo's right, you're part of the plan from the start. I hope you don't take offense to our decision to keep that from you. And please, don't be too hard on Albedo. He was just doing his best to look out for Mondstadt. Enough people were involved in the plan as it was, we had no other choice. The Honorary Knight and Paimon will be friends of Mondstadt. We'll never forget that.
Aw, that means a lot.
Thank you for thinking of me. It was an honor to take part. It is us who should be thanking you, Honorary Knight.
Wait, was that you just now? Let's go to the side gate to check it out.
Side gate's this way. All fellow characters, I see.
It's you.
Oh, I got Pyro this time. Okay.
You're in for a little shock. Blitz.
Trying to get some energy back.
Come into being. Moments of birth.
I don't want the mastery going.
Surrender and be gentle.
This I use Razor's Burst. And Lisa's not voiced. Phew, it's been some time since I unleashed my lightning during Windbloom.
It happened a lot before?
Unleashing lightning on people? Ha! No. Once in a while, maybe. It sure feels good to let loose, though. Oh, if you are ever late returning a library book to our library, you're gonna get shocked, and badly. And if you damage one of the books in the library, nice knowing you. My old professor even wrote about me in the few days ago. Of course, I made sure to emphasize that I always treat others with kindness. It's only natural for a student to inherit their teacher's ways, after all, and mine was a gentle old man from the Spataman School. Spataman School. Yeah, that's from Sumeru. So you see, this time I only use gentle methods of electrocution. So gentle, even Jean would have no reason to intervene.
Huh. Gentle electrocution.
Don't think you'd ever hear that line of reasoning. You seem to be in good spirits, Miss Lisa. Ah, well, it's good to move out every once in a while. And here's Eula.
It's all my fault. I knew Clea was fast, but disappearing like this? I only lost sight of her for 1 second. How am I going to explain this to Albedo?
You've always returned your library books. Sometimes you had to pay late fees. Yes, Lisa's late fees is electrocution.
Explain what?
Clea's on the loose. That's an appropriate reaction to that statement.
Albedo, Traveler, Paimon, what brings you here?
We're providing mobile support across the region. Was there something you needed to explain? You can tell me anything. I hope you know that.
Yeah, plus we kinda already heard what you said, so...
Just tell us. There's nothing to be afraid of. Yeah, there is. There's a Klee on the loose.
Klee, she disappeared right under my nose. I'm sorry. I'm doing all I can to find her.
I see. Please don't beat yourself up. Klee is...
Wait! Something's coming this way, and it doesn't look pretty!
It's not Klee you have to worry about. Alright, fighting first, conversation later.
She was right next to me, and the next thing I knew, she ran off somewhere. I swear I only lost sight of her for a second. Crush! Beg for mercy. Those bombs. I see what you mean. She is not to be underestimated.
Yes.
Ancient power.
I'm actually curious about something. Ah, he's C3, so he's got a C2, so his burst actually scales off defense here. But their stats still suck. Curse trial characters. We won! Ah, Klee's back. And she's not voiced. Great work, Klee. I'll be counting on you to protect Eula next time, too.
Albedo, you can't be serious.
No problem. Just leave it to Klee. Are you going on patrol, Mr. Albedo? Klee heard you were camping a few days and these monsters followed you back home.
Camping. Ah, right. The truth isn't suitable for little ears.
That's right. I needed to report back to Master Jean to settle my expenses. If you have some time, I'm sure Eula would be grateful if you escorted her back to headquarters as well.
Of course. I place myself in your capable hands, Spark Knight.
It would be an honor. Klee will do her best. This air current. And it's right here, right in the center. And that's Jean. That should be it for now. Good work, everyone. How do we fare injury-wise? Good, our preparations paid off. Injuries are few and far between. I have the full record here. Wonderful, I'll review it in a bit.
We're back!
Everyone alright?
Amber?
Yep, right as rain. We're back. Klee kept Miss Eula safe the whole way. That's amazing, Klee. Eula was lucky to have you. Looks like we're still missing a few. Yep, I got Freen on my team. She's great with Scoffier. Reporting back, Master Jean. Mission complete. Good to have you back safe and sound, and great work, everyone. This operation could not have happened without you all. Your leadership is what made it possible, Master Jean. It's been busy for a few days. You should take a well-deserved break. I will, but I believe you deserve one most of all. My work isn't finished, I'm afraid. I have a few loose ends to tie up. Loose ends. Ah, yes, of course. We can talk about it back at headquarters. Kita Paimon should be there too. Alright, everyone who has finished their work should head back to their quarters or to the church to get some rest. Want to come with us, Klee? We can drink some tea and eat some freshly baked moon pies. Yeah, that's Eula's specialty. Yes, yes. Hi, everyone. Venti, thank you for everything. I know there were difficult moments along the way. Oh, well, wait, does that mean you saw me running for my life? Ah, no, apologies. Forget I said anything. Yeah, she totally knows. Haha, just kidding, but you're right, it was tough out there. I almost lost my hat to the wind several times. Yeah, sure there. Any notable information on the wind? Of course, I was out of the city wall for quite some time. I heard all sorts of things. As for something notable, well, I picked up on anxious voices and a child's anger. Durin has been isolated for centuries, but absorbing Subject 2's emotions allowed him to understand certain truths about this world and his existence, including the fact he's no longer Mother's only child. Her most perfect creation. It's obvious he found that fact difficult to accept. The emotions he felt in response were quite genuine and, dare I say, human. If I eliminate the perfect creation, I'll be the only child Mother needs. This mindset arose out of Durin's instinct to compete and survive, and it came to dominate all those around him. Of course, the absorption of Subject 2's knowledge allowed him to take a more intelligent approach, accusing me of murder. In the end, however, Durin still lacks sufficient social intelligence. The fact that his army even got this far is a miracle.
Oh, no wonder Venti sensed a child's anger through the wind.
That same feeling, it's close. Ah, Miss Phonia, here to make your report? Yeah, she's not looking suspicious at all.
Oh, nothing much to report, actually.
Is that so? During the battle we were talking about your transfer to the 7th Company. You were in charge of patrols and post-battle reconnaissance this time. How did everything go?
Good. No problems.
I'm guessing she's the informant that Venti made sure didn't have the blessing of the wind to hear anything. I see. If you don't mind me asking, why did you come from that direction, and why are you alone? Some very pointed questions. Did you think we were still meeting at the side gate? There was a change of plans. We sent the message over the wind the last few minutes of the battle. There were a lot of changes during the operation, but I imagine you missed those as well, because you're under Durin's influence, and you have been since your trip to Dragonspine over 6 months ago. Now she's running. And she's cornered. Don't move. Let's continue the discussion back at headquarters. Don't be scared. I'll figure a way to free you from his power soon. Okay, going to Lisa's... I know, this is, the office again. The other side of the hall is Lisa's library. Alright, the others are looking after Phonia. please tell me you can help her. I can, as long as the rest of the operation goes well.
Wait, the operation isn't over. What do we do now?
What happens next is more of a personal project. I've consulted Venti about the possibility of calling a tripartite conference. Ah, yes, that's a relatively new tradition. Grandmaster Varka came up with the idea a few years ago. And Varka is someone we haven't seen yet. I still remember he approached me about asking the lovely ladies of the Hudson Circle for a small favor. The chubbiness caught me off guard. If I hadn't known any different, I would have thought he was talking about his older sister or something. Yeah, you don't want to mess with the Hudson Circle.
Older sisters? Is Varka really young or something?
Paimon, you're an idiot. I wouldn't exactly call him young, but he's not old either. He's the type to crack a joke at every opportunity, so whatever age that is. Indeed. Anyways, the Tripartite Conference is a gathering of 3 parties: the Hudson Circle, the Animal Archon, and the joint forces of the Knights of the Church of Avonius. That's 4 parties. Lord Barbados was able to facilitate a meeting between Varka and the mages. And just gotta do something real quick. There we go. And get a screenshot of that later. Varka has quite a way of words, so he was able to gain their favor and convince them to agree to a very important request. Namely, that Mondstadt's greatest time of need, the mages would return and lend their aid to our nation. Yes, and now I have a request of my own, so I need the conference to convene once again. Venti, if you would. Of course. Skeeta, pass me the Dodoco communication device.
Huh? You're gonna use that thing to call them?
Yes, we've talked to Alice on it before. And she's one of the Hudson Circle. Yeah, just watch and learn. Okay, I think this should do it. Dodoco.
What's that ringing? Is it the wind or something?
Hold on, that's not the right voice.
Wait. Barbados?
Varka? Ah, so that's Varka's voice. So we finally heard his voice. Grandmaster? Oops, I put the wrong number. Sorry, Varka, you're probably busy right now.
Well, considering I'm surrounded on both sides with a group on my tail looking to turn me into mincemeat, yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, I believe he's off in Far Cry. Ah, yes, we'll have fun with that. We can talk some other time.
All right, pass along my regards. Oh, and I still owe you for those drinks, don't I? Just take it from my stash. I keep it in...
I bet he interrupts them. I take he already knows where the drinks are stored and he doesn't want the information to get out.
Hey! He was just about to tell us where to find his secret stash!
Paimon, you're interested in alcohol? Since when? Don't tell me you hid it beneath the great tree of Windrise. That seems like a bit much. Dodoco.
Hello? Who is this?
That's Alice's voice. Greetings, Miss Alice. It's Venti. And Alice, that's Klee's mom. We haven't actually seen what she looks like yet. We've only ever heard her voice.
Venti? Nope, it doesn't ring a bell.
Come on, Alice. You're playing along here. You're really gonna tease me like this? Fine, it's Barbados.
Apologies, just a bit of fun. What can I do for you, dear Barbados?
Glad Alice's voice, though. You still remember the Timberlake conference, right? I'm calling on behalf of a friend. He's asking for a meeting.
Oh? And which brave soul is it this time?
It is me, Aunt Alice. Albedo, Captain of the Knights of Favonius investigation team requests a formal meeting with the Hudson Circle.
And what is your wish, dear Albedo?
I want to accomplish something unprecedented.
How unprecedented. Something even your mother Rhine-daughter never accomplished?
In terms of technique, no, but in terms of location and materials, yes.
Okay, that makes no sense.
You've piqued my interest. I'll be right there.
Uh-oh. Be right where? Here? As in this office?
Hello again, everyone.
So she appears as the Dotoko. They really want to hide her character model. Hello, Auntie Alice. I see you've turned yourself into a giant Dotoko.
Darling, isn't it? It even has its own hat.
Wow, the attention to detail.
Pleasure to see you all again. It's been a while. On behalf of the Hexen Circle, I hereby grant Albedo's request. I'm guessing you still need to prepare? Take your time. Just come find me at the long table when you're ready.
Aw, that's nice of you.
I suppose it's just my nature, darling.
Thank you, Aunt Alice. Before we set out, there's someone you need to meet. Head to my office. He's waiting for you there. Now... Oh, I used to secret stash, meaning either a comic book or weed, yeah. I wonder if we'll be able to continue going upstairs like this in the future. Or is that going to be closed off again?
Hey, have you ever wondered why Albedo always keeps his office closed? Paimon bets there's a secret snack stash hidden around here somewhere.
Typical Paimon thinking. One brain cell is always focused on food, and the other brain cells focus on Mora. AKA money. It's Durin from the summer event. The new Durin. Hey, not so loud.
Mini Durin? What are you doing here?
Well, actually, I've kind of been helping you guys in secret this whole time. I tried tapping Paimon on the shoulder during battle, but you floated away too fast. You were there? Yeah, I've been a Mondstadt for a few days now, but I've kept myself out of sight. I thought people might be scared of me.
Oh, don't worry. We aren't scared of you.
We actually met this during last summer event. Last year. Here, thanks.
So, what brings you here? Oh, is it Windbloom? There are a ton of fun games this time of year.
I did sneak off to the festival for a bit, even though I couldn't play the games because of all the people. I still had a lot of fun. But that's not why I'm here. Albedo and I made a promise to accomplish something great together.
What do you mean?
I'm gonna replace the Durin on Dragonspine. I'm going to be the one who is revived and brought into this world. Oh, that's a pretty big plan.
Wait, didn't that already happen? You left the storybook world, and now you're here.
Sorry. I should be more specific. Albedo said he can use alchemy to turn me into a human.
What?
Human transmutation, so you're Albedo's intended subject. Yeah, he's been working on it for a long time.
And that's what you want, Mini Durin? To become human?
I don't know if want is the right word. I don't even know if there is a right answer in a situation like this. But I do know this. I have just as much right into his name. I don't want to lose the other Durin. Becoming human isn't as simple as just changing form. I know, Albedo talked to me about that. He said Durin on Dragonspine is a lot more aggressive and primitive, almost like a beast. But Mom created me in a storybook. The pure parts of me can balance out the evil parts of him. If I'm honest, I don't know what that will look like, if I can still be me once I become one with that part of him. Maybe, without a complete soul, there was never really a me to begin with. Albedo said these kind of questions are normal. We're just trying to figure out who we are. But I'm not afraid of change. I want my life to have meaning, and suppressing an evil dragon, becoming human, both sound pretty meaningful to me. So don't worry, no one is forcing me to make this choice.
Well, turning you into a human sounds like a huge project. No wonder Albedo wants to get the mage's approval.
Yeah, I'm really grateful to him. We're kind of in the same boat, you know? Albedo told me he's the Critters Prince, a synthetic human, and if this works, I'll be one too. We will be the only two of our kind in the whole world, alchemical creations allowed to live in human form. If all living things are grouped together by species, then there's only one other person like me in this world. I guess that makes us family.
Definitely. You've just gotta trust one another. Actually, while we're on the subject, does your friend Hawkeye know about this?
AKA, Wanderer. Scaramouche. Hey, happy boy, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, I told him I was coming here to fulfill this, duty. He didn't try to stop me, he just told me, get a move on then. I've actually been going for about 2.5 hours. He didn't say it outright, but I think he supports my decision. Maybe he even thinks it's a good idea to go through with this. I know Scaramouche had his own troubles with that, and that was during the Sumeru Archon quest that we had to go through with that. Escavier, she's actually quite a useful character. I've done some testing with her already, and I've already have her fully built. You can see my UID, so you can look up her build on Anka. But I think she's quite strong. At least for freeze and mono teams. Ah, okay. I'm a little bit scared, of course, but excited too. Anyways, I'm really glad to talk to you at a time like this. I feel a lot better now, so thanks. So, hi boy, how much time do you think I have left on the Archon quest? Go to the location indicated by Alice. Oh, a lot. Okay. Lower. Okay, so we gotta go in Lisa's library here. Oh, higher. Lower or higher? Where do you want to go? Okay, so it's an Imaginarium. Okay, got it. Wait, no? Ah, yes. Your party configuration cannot be changed in the Heads and Circles trial. Please choose suitable party in advance. Required elements: Hydro and Cryo. I think my party fits. And chessboard with Alice.
Welcome, one and all. Please sit wherever you like.
So no unspoken rules to be aware of? I don't want to unwittingly park myself down on some important lady's chair.
I highly doubt anyone's going to mind where you sit, Lord Barbados. But thank you for being so considerate. Jean didn't fancy tagging along?
A lot happened in the city today. If she left, there really wouldn't be no one around to lead the Knights of Favonius.
All right, never mind. I was just hoping to treat her to some tea. Oh. So, tell me, Albedo, what is this outrageous and audacious plan of yours that I've been hearing murmurings about?
I know Alice is actually thankful for Jean, because Jean's the one who's been taking care of Klee. And keeping her on the straight and narrow. Or at least trying to. I'll get right to the point. I intend to kill the evil Durin and Dragonspine.
Oh?
And I'd also like to request some alchemical regents from the Hetson Circle.
Which ones? I'm all ears.
Yeah, that Dodoko has some pretty big ears, alright. First would be the flesh of the immortal monster from the Mara Javari.
Interesting. What else?
The other is a portion of the embryo left by my mother, Rhindaughter.
Ah, the raw material from which she created her monsters in the past. There's not much of it left. Dragon blood, monster flesh, and embryo. Sounds to me like a formula for creating life.
I think she's already picked up on the plan. Correct. Durin's heart continued to beat ever since the day he died. That means it's just a matter of time before he eventually returns. It could be centuries away or millennia, but that day will come. I've spent years investigating Dragonspine, so I'm well aware of the danger he poses. He's already posed a considerable threat to Mondstadt in less than half of his original strength. There's no telling how dire the consequences could be if he regained his full life force. Hence, if we want to be free of the dangers posed by his blood and limitless vitality, we must find a way to eliminate Durin entirely. Unfortunately, Durin is a special entity. Even after death, he could reawaken at any moment. So, the solution is to kill him and resurrect him in a different form. Upon resurrection, he'll no longer be the creature he once was. In fact, he'll no longer be a monster at all, because I intend to transform him into a human-like being. During the summer, Klee and I visited a fairy tale world called Simulanka. It was created by mages from the Hetson Circle. So I'm sure you know of it. Of course she knows of it. We've visited her work office in there.
Of course. It was even the home of one of M's children, the other Oh, I see.
She's picked up the other clue. It was during that journey that I learned with certainty that Durin could return to life one day. That experience inspired me. I met the pure soul M had created, and I knew if I wanted to change Durin's fate, he would be the key. To that end, I devised an alchemical model for transmutation. The soul will come from the fairy tale dragon of Sri Lanka and the blood from the original dragon's heart. And the monster's remnants from Marjavari and the embryo mother left behind will form the flesh. The corrosive nature of the dragon venom and the heightened vitality of the monster remnants will offset each other, keeping the constructed body in perfect balance. Or at least we hope. A powerful side effect can be triggered when festering forces and life energy collide. In an alchemical setting, the results are sure to be nothing short of astounding.
The glint in your eye when you talk about these ideas. You really are your mother's child.
Alice speaks like a grandma. Do you see that as a bad thing, Aunt Alice?
Of course not. To me, you're both extraordinary individuals. I find you fascinating. In any case, now I see why you asked Venti for help. The raw materials you seek are extremely valuable. The misuse of even the tiniest amount could cause unimaginable chaos. That said, we're happy to give you what you need. But there is one condition. You need to prove you can wield them, and so you must pass the Hexenzirkel's trial.
Oh, so this is how they're fitting this into the story. I understand. I figured something like this might happen. That's why I asked Skeeta to come along. You're not even going to try to talk me into it? Oh, you need convincing? I thought you wanted to keep an eye on me. Who knows what sort of outlandish things I might attempt without someone to keep me in check. Fine, I'm not going to argue with you.
So you know our tricks, huh?
And Alice has always loved a spectacle. Any chance to witness friends come together to support one another.
Well, success means little if you have no one to celebrate it with, no? Although, I'm afraid dear Paimon will have to sit this one out.
Oh, thank God.
What? Why?
The Hexenzirkel trials are no walk in the park, my dear. Besides, I already decided on the structure. There's only room for 2 participants, I'm afraid. No more, no less. You understand, don't you, Paimon? Oh, don't be too angry with your dear aunt.
Okay. You can turn off the charm. Paimon will stay behind.
Thank you for being so understanding. Then, whenever you two are ready, interact with the chessboard on the table. It will guide you through the trial.
Then let me make a formal request. Will you go through this trial with me? Let's do this. Are you ready, Skeeta? Just about.
Then, my dear children, get ready for a taste of the Dodo King's magic.
The Dodo King makes his return after his first appearing in the story on the first summer event. And we're actually shrunk into the chessboard. It's certainly keeping the Hexenzirkel's modalities. We've been shrunken down to a chess piece size. And of course, Alice with her eyes glowing, watching everything.
Whoa, you're so tiny now. Take extra care of yourselves, okay?
What is it? Nothing, it's just Paimon's voice is even louder than usual now that I'm this size. She's always so energetic and lively. Nothing can dampen her spirits. Don't worry, you'll be back with her again in no time.
You sound pretty confident, Albedo.
Aunt Alice? I didn't realize you'd be personally conducting the trial.
Well, since your mother has to recuse herself, who better than I to put your abilities to the test?
Sorry, Albedo, you're sitting this one out.
I have prepared quite a riveting new performance just for you two. See? Defeat them in battle. Prove to me that you have what it takes to achieve your goal. Swashbuckle your way to victory like gallant fairy tale heroes.
Time for a fight. Alright, let's see what happens here.
Let my name echo in song! Gotcha! Game's up! Moments
So I frame that.
Coming to be! Moments of birth!
Shower me with praise! Time to shine! Quietly now. Here comes the catch. Busted. Show no mercy!
You feel the sanctioned power!
Ugh, it had to be this form? A toy really doesn't suit me.
This one doesn't seem like...
Well done. But this isn't over. I will now preside over the second trial.
Oh, there's
Stare
another
straight
hidden circle
ahead,
witch.
And you will see things as they appear. But change your perspective, and you will see them as they are. The trial awaits. Only by turning the world on its head can we see its true colors. So, it begs the question, what do you see on the other side of this gesture? Pawns earned true freedom the moment they gained legs with which to
Remember the steps this time?
in the spirit of round, I would say I'm a surprise one. No need to thank me, of course. Just a small gesture of kindness from me, Barbara. Kiss justice to you. Oh, Albedo, you're always so charming.
And they're almost dead.
Like my own student. She can be so full of herself.
Witness my great undertaking!
Pretty easy fight.
Yes, very well done.
Should be a cinematic soon, I'm guessing.
Oh, they've grown up so fast. I'm so proud.
Really? Well then, I'll leave you to debrief the others about today's events.
Huh? You're leaving already?
You did marvelously today. I'm thrilled for both of you. And should you feel the need to gloat profusely to that student of mine so she knows to up her game, be my guest. Lovely tea party. But that'll do me for now. Until next time, my dearies.
You're just going to up and leave? Barbie?
Barbaloth, that is Mona's master.
You'll have to forgive Barbaloth. She's always on the move. And she never says where she's going either. I think she enjoys the mystique. But if I had to guess, she's probably going for a walk. She's a very health-conscious individual.
She also goes by another name, Old Hag by Mona.
Barbie was satisfied with your victory, and so am I. Congratulations to you both. You can come back now. Oh, whoops. I need to turn you back to normal first, don't I?
Yes, you should.
You're finally back! Great job! You made it all look so easy!
Nice to have you back safe and sound. Now time to relax and switch off. You've earned it.
Thank you. Felt pretty good to beat the trial. Once you've rested up, let me know when you're free. We'll head to Dragonspine.
To deal with the Dragon of Dragonspine, right?
Indeed, the sooner we deal with Durin, the better. Go to Dragonspine. Of course, you're going right where Durin's heart is. I recognize that spot.
Yep, this place is as freezing as ever. Paimon's hands are turning to ice.
Ooh, a tooth. Well, let me grab it. We've arrived. Sorry, Paimon. I have to get to work now.
Still beating away after all this time.
Leave it to me, you two. Stay on guard.
May Paimon ask a question?
No. You may. You indulge her too much.
Who is Durin to you? Do you think of him as one of your kind? And is he a dragon, person, animal, or monster?
From Algon's perspective, we're both artificial creations, but biologically speaking, we have no relation whatsoever. So to say we are kin would be categorically incorrect.
Sounds like you prefer humans to dragons, then.
It's not so much a matter of preference. Rather, as things stand, I would say I belong to the class of human, albeit a unique category thereof, but then again, most forms of life in this world will possess some unique traits. I am perhaps the most unique among humans, in the fact that I'm the only one of my kind, but soon there will be another just like me, assuming this Alchemy project proves successful. I believe Mini Durin already told you of his intent to replace the Durin of Dragonspine. After my conversation with him, he has also expressed a strong interest in becoming human. It's a fascinating prospect, not to mention an extremely challenging one, but I understand why he came to that decision. Do you see this as an act of creation? Well, understand the broadest sense, this project deals with both the past and the future, and stands to profoundly impact many lives. That primarily is what makes it worthwhile. Helping Mini Durin become who he wants to be is a secondary consideration, though still a meaningful one. By contrast, my personal motivation are nothing so grand and meaningful, I just pursuing something I believe in. In my view, to cultivate life in which the world cannot generate indigenously is to cultivate the world itself. Whatever aids life in attaining a greater level of perfection improves the world by doing so. It is not a question of whether this ought to be done or not, merely whether I wish to. The Alchemo Enterprise is concerned with deciphering and comprehending all forms of knowledge. That is the path I walk. Of course, that is not to say that this is just a science experiment to me. Anything that affects Mondstadt I approach first and foremost as a member of the Knights of Favonius. Does that answer your question satisfactorily? Well enough, thank you. Finished.
Looks like a golden energy has encased the dragon's heart.
Yeah, that's the geo energy from Albedo. The whole heart would be too big. I don't need that much. Instead, I just removed the core. The rest will lose its vitality completely. This time, Durin's body should finally die for good.
Wait, but in that case, what's gonna happen to the fake Hertha? And what about the people who fell under Durin's influence?
Finally, a smart question. Very rare thing out of her. The Knights will keep an eye on them, but as far as I'm concerned, eliminating Durin's influence on the citizenry and creating a new Durin through alchemy are one and the same thing. Armed with the heart, I'll be able to complete this alchemical array and deal with all those issues in one go. Alright. I'm gonna go grab this. Not going inside the city directly, just in front of it. Let's call it a day here. Thank you for accompanying me.
Pleasure! We sure learned a lot.
Mondstadt's a lively place during the Windblue Festival. You should take a look around, pick out some nice souvenirs for yourself.
Oh yeah, the festival! Wonder who the Windbloom star is gonna be this time. Well, we've been too busy dealing with this situation the entire time. Who else would be free to work during the Windbloom Festival?
I'm sure we'll find out on the day of. Wait until 2 days later, okay. Time to bring up the old pocket watch. And time travel.
Know of any new orchestral pieces?
The Windbloom Festival is about to begin!
Plaza.
Let's go check it out!
Over here, okay. As you all know, during this year's Wimbloom Festival, the people of Mondstadt have banded together to defeat several waves of monsters that tried to invade our city. Accordingly, we would like to award titles of Wimbloom Star to someone who made an astounding contribution to the defense operation. This is someone who may not look like a strong warrior, but whose keen insight played a vital role in gaining control over the conflict. His words and songs have always been a way of lifting people's spirits, as they were a great support to us all. Let's give us a round of applause for this year's Wimbloom Star, Venti the Bard.
Wow! Amazing!
Venti!
Huh, no way, you're really gonna pick me? Why not? You're the perfect person for the job. Alright, does that mean I get unlimited free drinks at the tavern? Yeah, of course he's gonna go that route. I'm sure they'll be more than happy to support this year's Wimbloom Star. If you like, you can even take a drink while you give your acceptance speech to the crowd. In that case, let me swap out the speech for a song. Everyone, the best bard in the land is about to begin his performance. So don't go away, gather around and lend your ears. I'm gonna remove my model here for this.
Albedo, how did everything go?
That was a pretty interesting cinematic, and the way he used the entire city as an alchemist circle. Yeah, he basically copied Full Metal Alchemist with putting his hands to the ground to perform the transmutation. Very smoothly, I'd say. We achieved our goal.
Really? So Mini Durin looks like a human now?
You could say that. I did see wings and such. Correct. However, his newly formed body is still stabilizing. We should give him some time. Incredible work, Albedo. I graciously accept the compliment. It really is rather remarkable what we've accomplished.
So, how do you feel right now?
Quite good. I did what I set out to do, and I achieved a personal goal. I think even she would have made a rare facial expression had she seen it.
She?
Rhine-daughter, I'm guessing. My master and mother, Gold Rhine-daughter. Yep, I was correct. A long time ago, she sent me to Mondstadt with the instruction to complete a task of monumental importance, to find the truth of the world. I had a theory about what she meant, and in time, I was able to corroborate it. Sure enough, finding the truth of the world basically stood for getting a life. He's not quite that short. Zhao is shorter. That might be easy for most people, but for someone like me, it meant doing a lot of learning, but a lot of things. I had to find out about myself and the world around me, get to know me, and get to know other people. Life is the space that exists between me and the world. To become truly human, I had to inhabit the space. So for an artificial human, finding a life is, in some essence, equivalent to finding the truth of the world.
So that's what she meant, huh? Well, no wonder those monsters wanted to infiltrate the city and replace you. They wanted your life for themselves!
Being alive is just existing, but having a life is what makes you truly human. I think that's the message she wanted to get across to me. Still, I found this whole series of events has given me a new inspiration. Becoming human is only the beginning. What follows is the choices a human has to make in life, as well as all kinds of family and bonds they will form. Most people would probably see the events of the last few days as something out of a nightmare, but for me, it's just part of my family life. I fear that carefree existence my brother has enjoyed thus far will now come to an end. Just like me, he'll have to step into the world and face the same constraints as everyone else.
You've got an unusual family, that's for sure.
Oh yes. Well, I suppose we get it from our mother. She's highly unusual. There's all kinds of families in this world. Some base their life around the family store, others around the farm. In my family, I suppose we tend to the flower beds, and now I'm a gardener too. As long as you feel like you've gained something from the experience. Master never showed her face, but if the Hexen Circle knows what I've done, that means she knows as well and gave her approval. Since devouring Nabarus, it would seem that she has finally found a Museum of Peace. And if so, then I'm truly happy for her. She doesn't always have a penchant for madness, you know?
Devouring Nabarius? What's Nabarius?
It is the name of the ruler of life. That's right, because we came across the ruler of death in the Archon quest. In 5.4. Or no, 5.3.
What?
Aunt Alice told me about it not too long ago, but it came as no surprise. I knew Master would do it sooner or later. As for the ruler of life, all I truly know is this. Nibiris is not gone. Instead, because of Master's actions, she and Nibiris are now one. Oh, that's a big lore drop. In any case, thanks to you so much for help during this ordeal, for choosing to stand by my side through it all.
Of course. That's what friends are for.
Paimon took the words right out of my mouth. Hearing you say that means more than I can say. I'll make sure to pass along the sentiment when I report back to Master Jean.
Oh, so you're heading back to headquarters? Well, good luck with the report.
Thank you. I'll get going.
Wow, this Windbloom Festival turned out to be a special one. It feels like we really made a difference. Oh, Paimon almost forgot! If the Windbloom star has already been chosen, what is this year's Windbloom gonna be?
Want to take a guess?
Venti! You're back!
Probably the flower that's on his hat. Oh, well, I couldn't keep my two dear friends in the dark about this year's Windbloom, now could I? What do you think of the Cecilia? Yeah, guessed it. The true feelings of the prodigal sun, a sentiment of the sweet and warm as gentle spring, perfect for the season. See the flower on the... Actually, no, yeah. That'd be it. Skida, give me your hand. Huh? The mages are very pleased that you and Albedo managed to pass your trial. Albedo received the materials he sought, so you deserve something in return as well. The Hidden Circle wants you to have this. It contains something entirely one of a kind, a secret of sorts. When the time is right, it'll reveal itself to you, so no need to open it right away.
Wow! A gift and a mystery all in one! The mages sure love their secrets, huh?
According to the sender, you're probably the only person who could make use of something like this, so I suppose it belongs with you. All I did was deliver it. Although I did go to great lengths during this whole ordeal, I suppose reward for my efforts wouldn't be out of the question. He's gonna ask for a bottle of booze, I bet.
You've helped a lot, Venti. How about we treat you to a drink?
Yeah, Paimon knows what he wants. Really? I'll hold you to that, you know. No going back on your word.
Of course, Dad! Let's go to the tavern right now!
Yeah, music to my ears. I'm so happy I could fly. It feels like this festival was made for me or something. Okay, that's, it actually is made for you. The Windbloom Festival is all about honoring Barbados. When no love remains for the songs to tell, the world becomes naught but an empty shell. Cruel is said of fate, cruel it may be, were it not for a hero who could set us all free. Though shadows so cold, he sought wisdom untold, chasing a fragrance the wind only knows. Thus wistfulness waned and faded into night as he stepped from the darkness and into the light. Oh, there we go. That would be the Archon quest. So there's achievements. Press as a child, fend off the monsters from the snowy mountain together with your companions. Roll for his game, pass the trial step by the Hidden Circle, and complete the Archon quest.
An important part of cooking is making sure the ingredients...
So in here, where we can collect the free wish.
absorb the flavors in the dish.
Oh yeah, this is the event. I'll probably stream this another time here, because I've been at this for over 3 hours here. A new stage. That might be nice for the teapot. Oh, that reminds me. If you remember Alice showing herself as a Dodoko... Just take a quick visit to my teapot in the meantime. I got some currency to pick up.
This realm is...
$35,000 rum currency.
If you ever have...
So, we got this Dodoko from another summer event, the last summer event. And I put it in the teapot here. And if I'm not mistaken, Dodoko was a creation of Alice for Klee. So Klee would have her own special companion. So I guess I'll go to here for a moment. So yeah, that will be the Archon quest. So now that's finished. I'll have to do Chef Lady's Escavier's quest another day here. So, what did you think about the Archon quest so far? Alright, well, I think that's about it. I'm gonna be... Oh, you like the fight with the on the chessboard? Well, thankfully, all my time dealing with Abyss and other fights and stuff like that is basically prepared me for fighting just about anything in game. So... But it is interesting that they had, or it's the fight design's kind of interesting. Yeah, I noticed with the chess pieces, like once he got a shield that I couldn't really break with anything, and it's like, oh, and I see these chess pieces around. It's like maybe I have to get. I remember in the live stream them saying that we have to make the chess pieces hit each other to actually break them down. It's like, oh, okay. So that went pretty smoothly. And then at the end, it was just fighting the king and queen together. So, I think it's time to end stream here. I've been streaming for 3 hours and 20 minutes. That's a good amount of time here. So, thanks for dropping by and have yourself a great day. You wish chess was with your brother was more like that, yeah. Very chaotic. And take care.